The amount of games that Pac-Man has been getting as of recently has been insane. 2022 especially, since we got 2 great Pac-Man games released for multiple platforms. The first one was Pac-Man Museum Plus, which I thought was a really good compilation featuring 14 Pac-Man games and ones that I actually really love. And then the second game was Pac-Man World Repack, which was a faithful recreation of the PS1 game released in 1999 for Pac-Man's 20th anniversary. Now this one right here was actually pretty peak, to be honest. It had great animation, great gameplay, and it was overall just pretty damn amazing, to be honest. Then we get to 2024, which was the worst year ever for me. We got Pac-Man Megatonal Battle Chomp Champs. It was fine. There's not that much to it. It's just a stereotypical Pac-Man online multiplayer battle game. And then everything fell apart when in November of 2024, Namco announced this new Pac-Man game that was dark and edgy called Shadow Labyrinth, which, when I watched it, I was disappointed immediately. Like, I am a-okay with, like, dark concepts in Pac-Man games, but not dark as in, like, this, like Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince or something. By that point, we all thought that Pac-Man fell off again. But then, I was proven wrong. On July 31st of 2025, Nintendo released a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase would be coming out live. And when this came out, I wasn't expecting much from it. Surely I would be able to see some cool games I would find entertaining, but not stuff to write home about. So, when the day came, I woke up and watched it. And the announcements we were given actually weren't too shabby after all. The first game I was hyped for was another installment in Namco's Katamari series called Once Upon a Katamari. I'm glad to see this ball-rolling franchise still lives on. And the other game I was hyped about was PvZ Replanted, which was basically a port of the original PvZ game on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. Honestly, I find this actually very good. I've been a PvZ fan for some time in like 2018, but I stopped for a while, but I am glad that this game is being remade for the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. So after those 2 announcements, I kept watching the Direct. I saw FIFA 26 and some other cool games. But when the next bumper rolled up and it said the text Repack, I was like,
Wait a minute.
Welcome to the party, Pac-Man!
Yummy! Pac-Man World 2 is coming back.
yes, it's true. Pac-Man World 2 Repack is happening. When I saw this, I sprung out of my bed in screaming in silence as I saw this. I never thought that Pac-Man World 2 Repack would be happening. Of course, many Pac-Man fans said it would happen, but it's unclear that Namco would have done it or not. And yet, they're actually doing it. And I've never even played the original Pac-Man World 2, but I heard that it's a fan-favorite Pac-Man game. So let's jump in to see what this game might bring us. Number 1, visuals. First, let's talk about the visuals. The visuals are an overall improvement of Pac-Man World Repack. There's a lot more shading and lining than there was in that game. In the original Pac-Man World Repack, the visuals were overall great, and it overall looked very good with the sunsets in the daytime and for day and night and such. Though it was looking drab in some parts, and the frame rate was overall at 30 FPS, which is kind of a problem if you ask me, but it's not bad by any means. And then you just look at Pac-Man World 2 Repack's graphics, and man, now we're talking. Like, the frame rate is a lot more smoother, there's a lot more animation going on with the characters, and the landscapes are just beautiful to look at now. Like, take a look at this ice world, for example. It looks a lot more realer and more cooler than in the original Pac-Man World 2. Like, there's trees in the background, there's a lot more realer looking snow, the ice looks a lot more smooth. This overall looks incredible. Pac Village overall looks great too. The sky looks good, the grass looks a lot more greener, there's a lot of dirt in the ground and stuff. It looks a lot more good. The town that Pac-Man lives in actually looks like a real place where you can go and visit. And sometimes you just can't beat the view of those mountain landscapes in the background. Now let's talk about the cutscenes now. The cutscenes are a lot more well animated and more expressive as a result of this. At sometimes I feel like it's a Pac-Man CGI movie of sorts. That is saying something. And also the main characters as models are recycled from Pac-Man World Repack, which I'm not complaining that anyway. They still look very good. And I even did see some characters that were recycled from Pac-Man World Repack that were just background characters. Like these barrel enemies in the Clyde's Frog Boss are clearly the barrel enemies in the pirate ship levels in the original Pac-Man World Repack. Or these purple ghosts just being blinky but purple. The angry eyes give it away. However, they didn't recycle every character model from Pac-Man World Repack. They did make some new models for the new characters in this game, like this bear here, and the green ghost from the ice levels. So far, this game has pretty damn good looking visuals. Now let's take a look at the rest of the stuff. Number 2, voice actors. I think the greatest addition to Pac-Man World 2 Repack is that this game now has voice acting.
How about a quick snack?
Since when was the last time I heard you speak, buddy? Since voice actors are in the game now, I'm going to talk about each of them and what I think of them. We'll first start off with Pac-Man, who is played by the one and only Martin T. Sherman, in which he was the voice of Pac-Man in Pac-Man World 3.
I'm not sure about that. Anyway, you clearly need some alone time. Goodbye!
Wait,
They were very big footprints. Bigger than any animal on Sodor.
You mean they were footprints from a monster?
the fact that this guy plays 3 of my favorite characters makes it mind-blowing. Though after Pac-Man World 3, Pac-Man stayed mute for quite some time, until he reappeared in Pac-Man World Repack, retaining Martin T. Sherman's voice for Pac-Man.
I've got to get back stat. The villagers are in danger. Let's run, chomp, and butt bounce through Pac-Land to save the day.
And he still has good range? And Martin didn't even voice Pac-Man in Pac-Man World 2, which makes this even more special. And I think my other favorite voice actor in this bunch is Spooky's.
Alright, come, Pac-Man. Show me what you're made of.
That legit sounded like something you would hear in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
This can't be. My body's slowing down. What's happening?
Though I think the rest of the voice cast here is pretty solid. Professor Pack's voice is good. Sounds like an old geezer to me.
Pac-Man! A massive crisis has fallen upon Pac-Land!
Now let's get on to the ghosts. In the original Pac-Man World Repack, the ghosts had these alien-esque voices which sounded so jarring. Seriously, what even is that blinky voice, man? In Pac-Man World 2 Repack, however, they're actually speaking words?
Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man!
Let's start with Blinky. I think Blinky's voice may be reprised from Pac-Man World 3.
Welcome to the party, Pac-Man.
Pinky's voice is kinda meh, to be honest.
Pac-Man!
Inky's voice is okay.
Pac-Man.
I mean, at least he doesn't sound like Queso.
Wanna be doomed? I just wanna go home.
That's the most accurate thing that it said so far. Would you let Chris Redfield spank you?
And Clyde's voice is overall close enough to how I picture of him.
Pac-Man.
Though the voice I'm very curious about is Sue's. No, not this Sue, this Sue. Now you're probably asking, why Sue? Sue barely appears in Pac-Man World 2 and is only when you enter the arcade. But if you watch the trailer for Pac-Man World 2 Repack, you may hear some dialogue that's not shown from a character on screen.
Once you're on the ice, look out for any crack spots. You don't want to fall in.
Well, this dialogue actually comes from a background character that in the original Pac-Man World 2 can talk to various one-time characters, or as I like to call them, Glup Shittos, to help you out in the levels. And they all seem to have dialogue, and that dialogue that was heard in the Repack 2 trailer shows that there is dialogue in these one-time Glup Shitto characters. So, what's stopping Sue from having some? And Sue even has dialogue and is a Glup Shitto character, so yeah, I'm assuming she's gonna have a voice in this game. But who though? Well, I found 2 voice actors that could suit the deal for her. Tara Strong and Jules DeYoung. I'm gonna compare two of them to see what you think.
The mythical mare in the moon is in fact Nightmare Moon, and she's about to return to Equestria and bring with her eternal night. Something must be done to make sure this terrible prophecy does not come true.
No, you won't, Gordon. Chuck back at once. DeviantArt will fix you in no time.
Now, will either of these voice actors voice this character? Maybe, maybe not, but we'll see. Honestly, a pretty solid cast. Now let's take a look at the new content being added to the game. Number 3, new content. So some new content has been shown in Pac-Man World Repack that I would like to talk about. Let's first talk about the skins. The first few skins that were shown are Team Ghost's hats that you can wear while you're playing the game in Pac-Man World 2 Repack. And those look actually pretty sick. I'm actually looking forward to wearing that inky hat. The next one is a very silly one, and I think that's the Talkman skin, which honestly makes it so funny. Imagine playing this game as Talkman. And here we got some very good goodies in this batch. We got collapse stages and more collapse stuff. And also is this Pac-Man suit that you can also wear as a costume. Okay, I'm gonna wear that. I'm gonna wear that when I'm playing the game. Pac-Land World 2, baby! But it's not just those skins. You can unlock skins in the levels, like this Fun Time suit or this Soldier suit. And also, not to mention, there's a 2-player co-op mode now, which you can play with Pac-Man as another player of Pac-Drone, in which you can fight enemies shooting dots at the enemies. And also, not to mention, there's decorating in this game too, in which in the hub, you can stack statues of the characters and such. What about the arcade? Well, I feel like it's going to be pretty much the same, including Pac-Man, Pac-Attack, Pac-Mania, and excluding Miss Pac-Man because obvious reasons. And they are going to include the maces from Pac-Man World 2 in that game. And if NAMCO wants, maybe they can include their other arcade games to the arcade, like Dig Dug, Galaga, and some others. As for the Reoccurring games in the arcade, well, I'd like for Pac-Mania to be the overseas version of the game, since there's 19 levels instead of 23 in the Japanese version, and there's new special features added. As for Pac-Attack, well, I'd like for it to be the PS1 version, since it seems more rad and I think it has additional sounds to the gameplay, and it also seems more fun. Though if it's the Genesis and the SNES release of the game instead, then I'd be fine with that. As for Pac-Man itself, I would like for NAMCO to please change the bezel to the Japanese bezel. I am so sick of seeing the Midway Pac-Man bezel. Please change it up. If you couldn't tell already, I am hyped for this game. Throughout all the stuff we just discussed, this might be a very elite remake of Pac-Man World 2. And throughout the reactions of many fans at the Nintendo Direct reacting to Pac-Man World Repack and being very happy about it, just warms my heart to see. And in September 26th of 2025, which is when Pac-Man World 2 Repack launches, it is going to be a field day for all Pac-Man fans out there, including me. So here are my announcements for today. So, my Pac-Man x McDonald's collab video is in the works. I wanted to still make it until the Pac-Man World 2 Repack trailer came up and I had to make a video on this. But I will be in the works on that video after I'm done with this video. The second announcement I want to bring up is that I've recently been developing a new series called A Train's Life. It's an anthropomorphic train sitcom that features many train buddies going on various adventures with their jobs, and it's kind of like Thomas and such. But I want to make my own show about anthropomorphic trains to see how you all will like it. And I'm eventually going to be rebooting Pac-Man Plus Show and the Thomas Show. The reason why I've been putting it off for so long is that I've kind of been going through some stuff, but when I get better, we'll start being production on both of those shows again, so don't you worry. And the third announcement I want to bring up is that the Pac-Man x McDonald's collab video is in the works now. I want to continue working on it until Pac-Man World 2 Repack hit the scene and I had to make a video on it. But don't worry, that video will be coming out eventually. I'm still working on it though, don't you worry. So, I think that's all I have for you guys today. See you guys next time, and I'll see you in the next video.